Alright, hey guys, what is going on? Brian back here. This is a re-recording of my Raw recap for last night. Apparently I'm going to have to start doing these videos on my phone because something is wrong with my webcam and the volume on my webcam because I uploaded a video last night recapping last night's episode, but apparently there was no volume. That was one of the comments I saw, or the first comment I saw. So there was no volume. So let's just get right into it. Last night's episode of Raw, coming off the heels of Clash of Champions this past Sunday, we heard from WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, who thanked Big Show, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and Christian for getting their revenge on Randy Orton in the ambulance match that McIntyre had against Orton this past Sunday. Orton would interrupt, obviously mad and upset, saying that this is not over and it won't be over until he becomes WWE Champion again. Then we had a Raw Women's title rematch. Asuka retained over Zelina Vega. We had Keith Lee defeating Andrade. There was a Hurt Business segment from earlier in the day where they kind of picked on this poor guy that was that all he wanted to do was just, you know, grab a seat and eat his food, but he was on his phone, and then Lashley said, "You're in my chair." The guy got up and moved over a chair. Lashley, still not satisfied, said, "Once again, you're still in my chair." The guy got up again and left, and then Lashley wound up getting the guy's plate of food because he's like, that's my plate of food. So that was it for that. Then we had from earlier in the day where R-Truth lost the 24/7 championship to Akira Tozawa. Then Tozawa lost it to Drew Gulak, who was dressed up as a ninja. And then Gulak lost the title back to R-Truth. So R-Truth is a 41-time 24/7 champion. I think that's the most reigns as a champion he has had. And I think it's more than anyone else has had in the history of the industry for just one singles championship. So we had a Seth Rollins and Murphy segment. We had the Mysterio family on the King's Court, which would be interrupted by Seth Rollins revealing text messages that Ray and Angie's daughter Aaliyah and Murphy have been sending back and forth to each other. Then we had Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke winning their Raw debut match against Lana and Natalya. My only problem with them sending people to different brands now is because a week from this Friday is going to be the WWE draft, and basically it doesn't make any sense sending people to another brand when they could end up back on the brand that they were on before in the draft. So it is what it is. Then we heard from Aleister Black, who cut a promo about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens would defeat Aleister Black in a one-on-one match when Aleister Black got disqualified because he accidentally elbowed a referee in the gut. Then we had a Hurt Business, Ali and Apollo Crews, or Hurt Business, Mustafa Ali, Apollo Crews, and Ricochet segment backstage from earlier in the day. And it all started because Ali came out of the Hurt Business's locker room. So, you know, that's what it is there. R-Truth successfully retained the 24/7 championship over Akira Tozawa and Drew Gulak in a triple threat. We had a Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke interview. Murphy defeated Dominic Mysterio via via distraction from Dominic's sister Aaliyah, who tried to stop him from using a kendo stick on Murphy. Then Ricochet, Apollo Crews, and Mustafa Ali defeated the Hurt Business, Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin in a six-man tag. Then we had, throughout the night, they kept showing Big Show, Christian, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair playing poker, and Ric Flair getting the better of the deal. We had a Bianca Belair vignette that showed her defeating 3 random people in track. Then we had a Retribution vignette showing what's been going on with the group, with that particular group and their destruction that they've been causing. Drew McIntyre, who had issued an open challenge to anyone that he has not faced for the WWE Championship earlier in the night. That challenge would be answered by the returning Robert Roode, who made his return last night. And this matchup was actually really good. The only good thing I thought was really enjoyable about this show, or this episode, McIntyre retained with the Claymore kick. And then, to end Raw, they had a backstage segment where Randy Orton, dressed up as a janitor, walked into the Legends Lounge and had a pair of night vision goggles and a chair and turned off the lights, and all you heard was smashing and slamming and stuff going down. And when the lights came back up, Orton was standing, and you see Big Show, Shawn Michaels, Christian, and Ric Flair all left laying in the room. And Raw went off the air with Orton getting back into his janitor, putting his janitor hood back on, and with his back turned, pointing the officials to the lounge. So, and walking away. So that was pretty much it, the end of Raw last night. So, my overall thoughts on last night's episode, with the exception of the McIntyre Robert Roode match, which I thought was really good, everything was just boring to me. I was actually bored and starting to yawn, being tired, and like an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes into the show. So it is what it is, but I watched it because usually on Mondays I'd be watching CSI reruns of CSI Miami, and apparently they took it off the channel that I would watch it on, and so there was nothing really else on TV, so I got stuck watching Raw, but I'm gonna have to find something else to maybe watch on Mondays. So yeah. So this has been my Raw recap. Hopefully there is volume on this video. I'm recording this on my phone, so hopefully there is volume. I might have to start recording videos on my phone as far as recaps and everything. So with that being said, if you guys watched Raw last night, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.